Alright, in today's tutorial, we are going to, um, I want you guys to create a cell phone, okay? Now we've learned many of these tools up to this point, and so today's lesson is creating a cell phone. Now I want you to create your own cell phone or a buddy's cell phone or a cell phone that you can grab some images from the web and model that cell phone. I just want to give you guys some tips and some ideas about how to make some of the shapes. So I'm going to make a part of an iPhone, just for you guys to get an idea. All right. And I'd like you to build it relatively to scale. Right. It doesn't have to be exact, but it shouldn't be like 10 feet by 20 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cube or a rectangle. I'm going to push it up a little bit, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit as well, and I'm going to get the dimensions up on it so that I can see where I'm at currently. And right now you can see that it is way too big. It's almost 1.5 feet by almost 3 feet. So I need to bring that down a lot. So let's go ahead and make sure. I will make it, let's say, just about 5 inches by 5 inches by 2.5 inches by a half inch, maybe something like that. Something relatively realistic. Once I have the dimensions, and remember inches are in 2 dashes, I'm going to delete them. And now what you're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just go over curved edges. Remember, you can use your arc tool. If you want to get very specific, you can use your measuring tape. If your measuring tape, you can use as guides. You can click and pull out like 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch, and maybe I'll bring that down 3/4 inch, and actually I'll go in about 9/16. And so now I can use these as guides so that I can click on my arc tool and make sure that my arcs are even. Okay, and then from there I can use the push-pull tool. I can push them out, and now they should be pretty consistent. Okay. Um, okay. Now, to get rid of the guides, you can go to View, Guides to get them off. So you can see that I've curved these, and they should be similar. Now, let's talk about the camera, and I'm going to just show you one way to create a camera. If I click on my circle tool, and I make a small circle, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to copy and paste, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to copy and paste and use that in a little bit. But for now, I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to push that in. Oh, not that, but I'm going to push that in just a little bit. I'm going to zoom in some more, maybe use the offset tool, and the offset tool maybe one more time, and push that in. Oh, sorry. And push that in even more. So I've created a camera, and I'm going to use the paint bucket, and I'm going to go to colors, and I'm going to just color this in, just some different colors just to add some variety to it, something like that. And now with this piece, I'm going to add translucent, and I'm going to add a translucent so it can be like the protective shield for the camera. And then now it takes some time is to, let me pan over, is to place this on top. So I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to move this up. Oh, I got to make sure that I move it up along the blue axis, move it over, and I'm going to move it up a little bit more. And it might take some time, but it's worth it. Try to move it over on top and then move it down like so. And so now you have created a camera, right, for your phone. The last major thing I want to show you is just buttons. For buttons, let's say some of them aren't perfect rectangles or circles. Some of them appear to be like something like this. If you use the arc tool and pull it across and arc it a little bit, like so, then you can use your eraser tool and hold down shift to delete these lines. And what you can do is you can say, like, well, that's way too big. It's easier to create bigger objects and then shrink them. Because if you make this too small, it's going to get a little complicated with pulling it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hold down shift and just select the whole thing and hit S to scale. And what you can do is hold down control now and make it the size that you want. Okay, and let's say I want it that size. And then I'm going to pull it out because it should be pulled out just a little bit. And you can see that it's not letting me, I don't want to pull it out that far, but it's not letting me pull it just halfway. So to kind of get around that, you can hold down, if you click on your cursor, you can click and just select the different edges by holding down shift. And I'm also going to hold down and select the bottom one. And then I can hit S again. And don't hold down control this time. Just let it go and click on the middle one. And then just push it in a little bit. So now, and then you can even hit S to scale it up and down if you want as well. So now I've created a button, right? And I've created the camera. And I've curved it. Remember, you can get rid of the lines by holding down shift, right? Taking away these lines if you don't want the lines. So that's just a start, right, to get you thinking about some ways of creating buttons and cameras and curving your camera phone. When you're finished, don't forget to color it in using your paint bucket tool.